Thanks for staying with us. Nigerian Customs Service impound 15 trucks of rice across the nation's borderline. Also on Customs reports, the CG speaks on smuggling activities all over the country. Plus, more report. I am Egeseme Edinye. Stay tuned. The Nigerian Customs Service operating at the nation's border has seized 15 trucks of rice from smugglers operating across the nation's borderline. The controller said that his men will continue to look for the smugglers and make sure that they are taken to court. Empowered by the enabling laws that set up the Nigerian Customs Service and Excise Management Act No. 55 of 1958, Non-Law of the Federation of Nigeria, Section 46, 47, 48, 57, 64, 68, 147, 149, and 150 provided penalty for improper illegal importation and exportation of goods into the country. The SEMA command, in demonstration of the compliance of the SEMA, has proven that smugglers cannot continue to operate under customs jurisdiction of operations using the community as a cover-up without facing the foot rot of the law. The daredevil smugglers who intend to test might of the Nigerian Customs Service, despite the closure of the border to movement of illegal goods across the border, met their water low, according to the controller, some couple of weeks ago. About 2,300 bags of rice were evacuated in the month of October 2017, while also in the last couple of weeks, 15 trucks of rice were also impounded by Nigerian Customs Service from smugglers. The intention of the smugglers, according to the command, is to confront the officers and men of the Nigerian Customs Service who later averted the fight, making sure that they don't have a problem with Nigerian Customs Service. They also engaged the Nigerian Army to make sure that smugglers are arrested according to the law.
I resumed here almost March ending. And first thing I did is to sanitize the road. You are coming from Lagos, you can see how many checkpoints you meet there. Only 2. Before, there are multiple. There are almost 20. So that's the first assignment I did, to sanitize the road, to make it easy facilitation of trade for people to pass without any hindrance by any custom officer. Secondly, the achievement I can proudly tell you that when I came here, I seized over 20,000 bags of rice, equivalent to 36 trailers of rice. 10,000 have been evacuated to IDP camp in Yobe. Presently in my house, I have 10,000 on the ground. The vehicle, I seized a lot of vehicles, but the ones I have followed the normal procedures are 38, which I seized and I condemn, which is now a government property. I still have a lot waiting, that is their detention, waiting for the production of proper document. If you bring your proper document, we'll release for you. After 2 weeks, if you didn't bring, then we seize it, then and send it for condemnation. So presently, I have 38 that are seized and condemned, and they're all big vehicles. I've sent my report to Abuja. Then I have 60 bales of second-hand clothes and 29 sacks of used shoes. I also have 520 pieces of used tires. That is the first set. I also have another set of 500 pieces. Then I have 900 bags of expired fertilizer. I have 3,000 cartons of frozen poultry product destroyed in accordance to the extant law, with the presence of our sister agencies like NAFDAC, SON, police, a lot of them, Port Health, just for them to witness the destruction. So we destroyed 3,000 cartons. Because if we keep at least 3,000 cartons for 5 days, you cannot even enter this office. Now we have 271 by 25 liters of groundnut oil on the ground. We have sent some to IDP, which I have to look at the landing certificate before I show you. Not only rice we say a lot of things. The landing certificate is somewhere which I have to look for it to tell you more. But I forgot about one because it has gone. Then I have 1,000 and 40 bags of mosquito coil, and each bag contains 60 pieces, 1,800 bags. Each bag or cartons contain 60 pieces. So these are some of my achievements. Second one, we sanitize the border. If you come to Same border today, you know that something is going on.
Commenting on the successful operation in conjunction with the Nigerian Army, the Customs Area Controller commended the effort of the command officer of 243, Colonel Garba, for his prompt response in partnering with Nigerian Customs Service in actualization of the mandate of Nigerian Customs Service. He also appreciated the existing cordial community relationship and called on leaders and youths not to join forces with the carriers or smugglers who may not come from their immediate communities to destroy the peaceful coexistence between the Nigerian customs and the host communities. The Customs Area Controller stressed and warned that no amount of intimidation by smugglers to use the semi-border route for smuggling activities will be tolerated or permitted. He said the command will continue to work with the Nigerian Army and communities in order to nip the activities of smugglers in the bud. He enjoined the host communities to give intelligence reports to the Nigerian Customs Service of any smuggler under the domain in order not to portray the community as collaborators, partners, or harboring illegalities within the domain. The Customs Area Controller stated the commitment to work strictly in line with the policy thrust of the Country General of Customs, Colonel Ahmed Ali, as he strictly upheld the federal government policies at the land borders. It could be recalled that the Country General of Customs in the last couple of months stated that smuggled items that have found themselves into the country or town has no hiding place as long as their owners have violated the constitution and policy of the federal government and the provisions that enact the Nigerian Customs Service enshrined in SEMA. The CAC warned officers and men to desist from conniving with trans-border miscreants who are desperate in their quest to indulge in trans-border crimes at all times. He concluded that the anti-smuggling operations, being one of the core operations of the Nigerian Customs Service at the border, will continue to operate according to the laid-down rules. He speaks more on this issue.
Facilitation of trade is very easy now. We make things very easy. We sanitize our officers to do the right thing because they know the man who they are working under is not somebody that takes things lightly. If you commit an offense, he punish you. Not only punish, as I said, he will jail you. And if you do the right thing, he will reward you, either by recommendation or by promotion. And this is how to be a leader. Then I have departments. I have revenue unit. I have ETL unit. I have export unit. Presently here with me, I have a DC revenue who will tell you how we block some leakages that make our revenue to go high. You look at the body, you see from 200 to 300 million to 381 million to even 700 and something million to 600 and something million to another 600 and something million. So you can see the increment from 2 to 600. That is the minimum we have. We are now in the month of November, this festivity period. We expect more and more. As I said before, our revenue based on what comes in. Before, 65% of our revenue come from Tokumbo, this used vehicle. Now the government policy on Tokumbo has made our revenue to go so down. But nevertheless, with all the revenue leakage that we block, our revenue is still something to write home about. The DC revenue can testify that. Also, another aspect of this ETL issue, here I would like maybe to call on the DC ETLs to say something about the ETLs. At the same time, our custom Interpol, with the effort of this man, were able to track a stolen vehicle from Nigeria, big car stolen vehicle from Nigeria, because of the interface we have with this Benin, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire. We were able to track them, arrest them, detain them. Now we are making arrangements for repatriations of those vehicles back to Nigeria, if possible. I will do my best. Those who are living abroad, please, anytime they have like vehicle, they should not allow any agent or anybody to deceive them that they should bring their vehicle to the borderland. It's cheaper. They are still bringing because they are ignorant. They don't know. they should take the vehicle to the port and pay their duty and collect it. They should not allow people to deceive them that when you bring, we'll get you a tinkan duty. It's not a correct duty, it's not a tinkan duty, it's a fake duty. So my advice to them is to follow the normal procedure, that is, to follow the port, not the land border. If they have any legitimate trade, they can come through the land border. We're not going to stop anybody if your trade is legitimate one. If you have otherwise, then from there we act. So that's my advice. We have a situation whereby some people, we suspect they are using these diplomatic numbers to bring in Tokumbo. We trap them. I don't know how the information leaked, so they remove the number. So when we heard about these high chiefs using their, some people are using the high chief numbers. So we say, okay, let's try it one, and we got one. So my advice to them is that they are the community leaders. They should tell their people, because to avoid embarrassment, for a high chief to be stopped on the road, to even ask in his particulars, he feel embarrassed. But we have to do it, because we have the sample now here. We don't know how many of them passed. Maybe some with their knowledge, but this particular one, I arrested the driver. I asked him, did anybody send you? He said no. The man with this level is aware? He said no. I said, thank God. So we thank God we do not invite any chief, but my advice to chiefs is to tell their people, warn their people to desist from doing it. Because as from today, whether high chief, whether FGM, whatever, any vehicle I suspect, I'll stop it. Because they can use anything. You can see a vehicle with police number there, with even amber. Then, which means everybody is a suspect. So please, don't be embarrassed if I stop you and ask you for your document. If you have the new document, it will take you just 2-5 minutes, you move. If the documents are not correct, then from there you know yes, something is wrong, and you know what is happening to face.
Still on Seme-Border Customs Command, we now ask some of the officers of the Nigerian Customs Service of what they have been doing in the last couple of weeks.
The essence of the Interpol unit is to curb crime so as to facilitate trade among the Lagos-Abidjan corridor. ETLS fall under that scheme in the sense that before now, we used to have goods coming from Asia, Europe, coming as ETLS. Because when the goods are branded in the factory in West Africa, we don't have any right to say they are not ETLS, because we don't know how those goods came into the factory. But with the Interpol now, because of the collaboration we have with all the Interpol officers on that corridor, so any goods we see now, all we need to do is to talk to the country, the alleged country of origin. They now do the clandestine way of investigation. They let us know, yes, these goods are from West Africa. This one is not. And anyone that is not, they direct it straight to come and pay duty. So being able to sanitize it, even the chambers of commerce of that region, from Lagos, Abidjan, the chambers of commerce there, have written to commend the area controller that before now, nobody has ever enlightened us on the danger of rebranding goods that are from Europe as ETLS. But we are coming, we can see now that even the Interpol officers in those countries are lecturing them that it is against ECOWAS protocol for you to bring in goods that are not West Africa, put them in your factory and ship them to Lagos, because there's no way for us to identify. So now we have a collaboration team that looks into that. The Chambers of Commerce of West Africa are very happy with Seme, that they even plan to come and pay the area controller a visit and to invite him to their country for an award. I think we should give the area controller the kudos for that. Even if a vehicle escaped from Seme-Border now, with the collaboration we have, even as far as to Côte d'Ivoire, that vehicle can be tracked and seized there pending the formalities of repatriating it back to Nigeria. We've been able to seize more than 50 of such exotic vehicles, and the latest is around 30, which through to the collaboration between us, Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Côte d'Ivoire, the number is rising, and they are all trying now to avoid Seme axis, because they know even if we are unable to track down the vehicles here, by the time it gets to Benin, if they escape Benin, their last port of call, which is once they get to Abidjan, they disappear. They are caught there, usually because of the collaboration we have. So we have a lot of things going on well on that axis. We've been able to track and arrest so many vehicles, ranging from 2017 down to 2010. Vehicles that are coming from Nigeria, and these are their documents. Please verify from your system and advise us accordingly. So we went straight into Interpol database to confirm that they are not stolen. And we find out whether actually it is from Nigeria. And what we got was that the FK cruiser was declared as a CROV in our database here. And the second 2017 vehicle was declared as a Chrysler. So once we got those documents, we forwarded everything to Cote d'Ivoire through the normal Interpol channel. And actually they discovered and they immediately apprehended the driver, who confessed that those vehicles were actually stolen in Nigeria. But because no Nigerian authority have reported the stolen case to the police, we cannot start the repatriation channel there proper, because before we can bring back the vehicles, there must be a report on Interpol database that so-so vehicle was stolen on so-so day, and anywhere it's found in the world, they should bring it back to Nigeria. So they are hanging now, pending when formal report will come from Nigeria, or when the owner will come forward and say, my vehicle was stolen, then we'll start the repatriation.
By the time we came on board here, we sat down to strategize how we are going to improve the revenue base of this command. So the first thing we did was to bring in the traders, that is both the importers and the agents that operate here. We tried to sensitize them, to tell them the importance of paying duty to the government. We decided, after telling that that is the importance of paying this duty, that we brought in our anti-smuggling units to block all these loopholes that they were passing before. And they decided to comply, and their compliance helped us to increase the revenue base. And you know, we have a scanning section here in SEME. Everything that comes through SEME must pass through a scanner. So there was no way you can come and under-declare, or you can come and conceal anything. Whatever is concealed, our scanner will detect it and will raise additional duty for you. Apart from that, the other issue of turnaround, we reduce much barriers for traders. So the turnaround was coming faster and faster. So that improved our revenue base here. If you observe, when we came in around 200 million, 300 million, but by the time we sat down with them, that is the importers, we decided to deal with importers, not the transporters, because in those days, it was the transporters that were coming to the custom section here. So we now deal with only the traders, only the importers, not the transporters. So this has greatly improved our revenue base in SEME Command. Now we had 700, 638, now 678. Despite the ban on Takumbo, rice, those two items before, they contributed almost 65% of the revenue base of this command. Then now again, tomato is added to that. By the time they removed the used cars, rice, we had tomato. Tomato was contributing 50% of what was left to come through the border. Now, tomato has been removed again. You see, we have another challenge now, how we are going to improve and increase that revenue base, since tomato has been removed from coming to the border now.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has continued to warn smugglers of items into the country to desist from the act. It says that the Nigerian Customs Service will continue to implement laws that will make sure that smuggled things into the country are stopped either through the border, airport, or seaport. He speaks more on the activities of Nigerian Customs Service.
As at the last count, this year I've lost 3 officers in the course of fighting smuggling. Those are dead. I'm not talking of the wounded. Because smugglers have also become very daring. Because it's a lucrative trade. It is something that they believe they want to. Some people live on it. Some people live on it. I tell you now, I have about 18 vehicles under our custody, of which out of those 18, I think 8 of them or 10 of them are bulletproof cars. We're asking the owner, can we have the papers? And as at today, I'm not sure we have the papers yet. But the cars are in this country, and they found their way into this country. They were driven into this country. And one of those cars I learned was priced for 250 million. And the gentleman said, no, he's looking for 280 million. And then paid duty on those cars, no. For us, the word smuggling is synonymous with greed for wealth. All other things you can see there are embodied into these 3 words: greed for wealth. Because when you bring in anything to sell it and you don't want to pay to government what is due to it, it's because you want to maximize the profit. And that, to us, all these other ones fall under it. And the last one there is, and most infamously, corruption and lack of patriotism. And this is what we've seen in Nigeria. I asked smugglers, especially of used vehicles, they will go to Cotonou and buy a car. They will pay all the charges that are payable in Benin Republic. They will drive it to Niger. They will pay all the charges that are payable in those areas. But the moment they head to Nigeria, it's a no-no. And you ask, why? And say, well, the tariff is high. Of course the tariff is high. And why is it high? Because what you pay in Benin Republic is not custom duty. What you pay in Niger is not custom duty, it's tax for transit of goods. But what you pay in Nigeria, because you are going to domicile that product for use in Nigeria, you pay custom duty. Why is smuggling so rampant in Nigeria? So of course, smuggling strife in Nigeria because there are people that buy the goods. And that's what I always said. I said, if our industries will strive and we can produce, we do not need outside market. Just like the China did. Whatever China sells outside is an excess to their GDP. What they consume, 1.3 billion people, if half of that population drinks 1 bottle of Coke every day, you can imagine how much money is generated. So in that same context, 180 million people, if half of us buy textiles goods made in Nigeria, certainly our textiles will be up and running. We are all guilty. And that is why we need to force, and that is the issue when it comes to patriotism. We're not patriotic, and therefore we don't believe in our own product. And also, we are not patriotic because that is why we can afford to cheat the 180 million people in terms of not paying duty.
The custom boss also blames some importers for bringing in consignment into the country without payment of accrued duty.
There are many forms of smuggling. depending on circumstances and environment, but the most common ones are: 1, outright avoidance of customs control across borders. And those are the ones that evade the approved routes to bring in rice, to bring in cars, and to bring in all other illicit goods, avoiding the approved routes. So this is one aspect of smuggling. Then the second one is under declaration of quantities of the goods that you are importing. So if, for instance, you are bringing it through the approved route, and you underdeclare the quantity, and customs in the course of their due diligence discover that what you have declared is below what you are carrying, that is form of smuggling.
Just before the end of this week edition of the program, Customs Report, we brought you a report where the Nigerian Customs Service has continued to fight smugglers operating at the nation's borderline. For me, Igiseme Itinye, thanks for watching.